From the moment you walk through the doors of the Living Learning Library, you know this is a special place. The smiles that greet you come from a community of people who are passionate about more than just reading material. They are passionate about you and what your family will receive when you open these delightful living books. Did you know that there are over a dozen men and women who invest their quality time and skills into the ministry of this library? And they do it because they are committed to a mission. The mission of helping you and your family uncover truth and beauty and goodness at a heart level. So you see them faithfully serving when you walk through the front doors of the library, but why don't you join me to get a little sneak peek, a quick behind-the-scenes preview, and meet some of these amazing people whose hearts and time are committed to the ministry of the Living Library.
I'm Beth, and I've been volunteering at the library for 1 year. At the library, I sort the books first by Dewey Call number, then I place them on the correct place in the library and straighten up the shelves and check for any books that might be out of order. Through volunteering at the library, I've become familiar with living books and the homeschooling community of South Florida. I'm so thankful to be able to help in a small way to keep these precious books circulating among the families.
My name is Stephanie, and I've been volunteering here at the library for about 4 or 5 years. God has given me past experiences that have equipped me with a variety of skills to serve here. Since I've been volunteering at the library for several years, I've been trained in several different tasks. I check in and I check out books, I shelve books, I cover books, and I help people find books that they're looking for. And it has been a joy to see kids become excited about reading and learning. And since my children have graduated, I'm glad that I can still be involved in the homeschool community. I love to help and serve others, and this is a great place to do that.
I'm Kathleen, and I've been volunteering for 5 years. I do some shelving, and when families reserve books online, I pull them and set them aside so that they're ready when they come to pick them up. Growing up, I didn't enjoy reading, but since being surrounded by these wonderful books, I've become someone who does love to read, and I've rediscovered my love of learning. I'm thankful to have found a community where we all share our strengths and talents to preserve these stories that contain living ideas. I believe these stories have the ability to touch the souls of all who walk through those doors.
My name is Holly, and I've been volunteering here at the library for consistently for about a year. I welcome people a lot when they come into the library. I kind of fill in the holes and the gaps. I do a lot of behind-the-scenes things, such as I do a lot of email communication between members, and I work with some of the monthly contributions as they come through. And if you guys have had a welcome letter in the last, I don't know, maybe year, it's probably been from me. So I'm also discovering gifts and talents that I had no idea the Lord had blessed me with. There are other things, lifelong fears that I have struggled with, and I'm able now, I'm overcoming them in the strength of the Lord. And it's because things at this library need to be done. Things in other settings that I just really would never have been comfortable with before, and I'm doing it because He needs me to do it. I help with story time, I shelve, I work with the 5-in-a-row and all sorts of things like that. I'm a person who now finds joy in connecting a child with the perfect book, whatever book it is that's going to minister to who that child is becoming themselves. I find joy also in encouraging mothers who come into this library. Often we feel so burdened with this huge job that we've been tasked with to educate our children. Here we're doing it at home, and it can be really heavy, except I don't think the Lord meant it to be that way. I think that He wanted to be a joyful journey for all of us. And so I'm finding that that is exactly what happens here at this library. Before I was a mother, I could have never even dreamed up this most precious opportunity to serve alongside my children. I'm growing, and they have a front row seat to how the Lord is moving in my life. And at the very same time, they're growing and learning what gifts they have to offer Him. They're learning how to welcome others into the place that they love. They're learning how to show gratitude for something they appreciate. And the gifts don't stop there. It's just they're around every corner. And I can just say that the Lord is so good.
My name is Alex, and I've been volunteering at the library for about a year and a half. I help organize events at the Living Learning Library, like the Beekeepers event and the Donut Painting Party. First, I pick a date that works for the library, arrange the necessary supplies needed for the event, and an email sent out. I've been really blessed through arranging these events because they bring real-life experiences and community to homeschooling, which can be isolating to some. My own child realizes she's a part of something bigger than herself. I see it in the other children also, that they are a part of a deeper learning experience, and it excites them. From volunteering, I think that it's really gotten me out of my comfort zone and just made me really inspired by all the women that I'm around every day, and I've brought it back into my homeschooling.
This library is a community where parents meet other parents, and they can share ideas and talk about their journey of educating their children.
My name is Casey, and I've been volunteering here for a couple of years. I am a wife and homeschool mama to our 4 kids. I learned and worked in graphic design after college and through my 20s, and I love how having this skill set has transitioned so well into motherhood. I use my graphic design knowledge regularly, and I love to help the Living Learning Library when needed. From flyers to posters, signage, and events, I especially love helping with the handy fair. I've become a part of a very special community through our membership and my volunteering. This library blesses our family so much as we use the books as our primary way of teaching and learning at home. It is the least I can do to give back in this small way.
So what about you? Are there any gifts or skills or time that you could contribute to the shared ministry and mission of this library? Would you become a support pillar whose help shelving and organizing would become a dependable blessing? What about taking books home to de-sticker in your downtime? Or perhaps you can offer your creativity and time to help with an event. So maybe like me, your time frame and your season of life are a little bit more constricted and you cannot offer the consistent help that you would love to. But that's okay. Let's think outside the box. Maybe there's a connection you have. Maybe there's a resource you have. Maybe there's a skill you have. Think creatively. What could you offer? This past summer, I started teaching myself how to make videos for a travel-based road schooling homeschool YouTube channel. Now, I love to travel, and my family and I, we go all over the United States, and we go all through Florida, and we really love to take what we're learning about and bring it into experience. And so these books have been a critical part of our education. We love to not just learn facts and figures and information, of course, about someone in history or a geological land point or scientific discovery, but we love to build a relationship with the material we're learning about. So when we went and learned about George Washington, it wasn't just he was the first president and he led the Revolutionary War and, you know, some facts and figures and details like that. We got to know his character. We got to think thoughts that he thought. We got to study his childhood and consider how did his childhood affect his character, which then affected his leadership. And it was just delightful in the wisdom that we received for life, not just information to be put into our minds for testing. The wisdom we gleaned was so beautiful and critical, and the conversations we had were so meaningful and bonding between me and my children and my husband. And so that is one reason we love this library. It has been a kind of like if you were building a house, we have scripture as the foundation, and then these living books are really like the walls and the staircases that bring us higher and higher into wisdom and learning and love for what God has created. And so we love the Living Library, and when Michelle asked me if I would even create this video, I'm not an expert at video creation, but I thought, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to offer my skills, what I'm learning, not perfect, but offer them to serve the library in a creative way. So that's why I'm here. And I want to encourage you to consider truly, what could you bring to the table to offer to serve not only the library, but every single person that walks through those doors. So what do you think? Are you interested in joining us? Well, if you are, send us an email at info@livinglearninglibraries.org. We can't wait to hear from you.